Good morning, students. Hope all of you are fine. Beta, this lecture is also in continuation of theme 9, and name of this theme is Kings and Chronicles. So till now we have discussed about the Mughals and their empire. Then we discussed that how the chronicles were produced, and afterward that how the language was changed from Turkish to Persian. Then we also read about the process of manuscripts, that how these manuscripts were made. And the today's topic is the painted image. The As we read in the previous section, painters too were involved in the production of Mughal manuscripts. And beta, in these manuscripts, with the various events, images were also drawn. So, in these chronicles narrating the events of a Mughal emperor's reign contained, alongside the written text, images that described an event in visual form. Like suppose in chronicles they wrote about any war, so some images were also inserted in the manuscript. And when scenes or themes in a book were to be given the visual expression, जब उसको visualize किया जाता था, then the scribe, the writer, left blank spaces on nearby pages. Paintings executed separately by the artist were inserted to accompany what was described in words. It means for these miniature paintings, the space was left by the scribes. These paintings were miniatures and could therefore be passed around for viewing and mounting on the pages of manuscripts. So, paintings served not only to enhance the beauty of a book but were believed to possess special powers of communicating ideas about the kingdom and the power of the kings that the written medium could not. As you know, beta, with written, the visual method, it is always very impressing and influencing. At present also, if you will see any your textbook, so if the images are given with the text, then it will be more retainable in your memory. So the historian Abul Fazl described painting as a magical art. In his view, it had the power to make inanimate objects look as if they possessed life. So the production of paintings portraying the emperor, his court, and the people who were part of it was a source of constant tension between rulers and representatives of the Muslim orthodoxy, the ulema, because this ulema, as you know, they were they just wanted to, these ulema, they just guide the ruler that how to rule according to the Islam. So these ulema did not fail to invoke the Islamic prohibition of the portrayal of human beings enshrined in the Quran as well as the Hadith, which described an incident from the life of the Prophet Muhammad. It means, beta, in Quran it is mentioned that no human being should be portrayed. मीन्स उनकी कोई भी जो पेंटिंग या पोर्ट्रेट नहीं बनाया जाना चाहिए. सो दैट इज़ वाई उलेमा दे वर अगेंस्ट इट. Here the prophet is cited as having forbidden the depiction of living beings in a naturalistic manner, as it would suggest that the artist was seeking to appropriate the power of creation. So this was a function that was believed to belong exclusively to God. It means that these portrait, it should only be meant for God. Yet interpretations of the Shariat change with time. The body of Islamic tradition was interpreted in different ways by various social groups. Frequently, each group put forward an understanding of tradition that would best suit their political needs. So the Muslim rulers in many Asian regions during centuries of empire building regularly commissioned artists to paint their portraits and scenes of life in their kingdoms. It means now this portrait making of portrait, these were becoming very much popular. The Safavid kings of Iran, for example, patronized the finest artists who were trained in workshops set up at court. The names of these painters were such as that of Behazad, contributed to spreading the cultural fame of the Safavid court far and wide. As you know, just to spread the fame of any empire, these artists they played a very significant role. So artists from Iran also made their way to Mughal India. Some were brought to the Mughal court, as in the case of Mir Sayyid Ali and Abdus Samad, who were made to accompany Emperor Humayun to Delhi. So, others migrated in search of opportunities to win patronage and prestige. So, a conflict between the emperor and the spokesperson of orthodox Muslim opinion on the question of visual representation of living being was a source of tension at the Mughal court. So, as we have read that why this was the source of tension. Because according to ulema, according to Quran, these orthodox Muslim painting of living being it was prohibited, but all these courtiers they were following this system. So that is why it became a topic of tension in the Mughal court. Akbar's court historian Abul Fazl cites the emperor as saying that there are many that hate painting, but such men I dislike. It appears to me that an artist has a unique way of recognizing God when he must come to feel that he cannot bestow life on his work. So it means the Abul Fazl he was very fond of painting. Like in the previous page, one source is also mentioned. If you will see this source, beta, this source is by Abul Fazl, and name of this source is in praise of Tasveer. So Abul Fazl held the art of painting in high esteem. Drawing the likeness of anything is called Tasveer. His Majesty from his earliest youth has shown a great predilection for this art and gives it every encouragement, as he looks upon it as a means both of study and amusement. It means he was very much fond of painting, and for him this painting it was a study also, and it was the way of amusement or entertainment also. A very large number of painters have been set to work. Each week, several supervisors and clerks of the imperial workshop submit before the emperor the work done by each artist, and His Majesty gives a reward and increases the monthly salaries of the artist according to the excellence displayed. It means in the Mughal era, one special workshop was there for the artist, and regularly these artists they used to uh, do their artwork, and all these artworks paintings it was presented to the ruler, and accordingly these artisans they got the rewards and increase in their salaries also. Most excellent painters are now to be found, and masterpieces of worthy of a Behazad may be placed at the side of wonderful works of the European painters who have attained worldwide fame. So the general finish and the boldness of execution now observed in pictures are incomparable. So this way more than 100 painters have become famous masters of the art. It means during Mughal time it can also be known as the time of artisans. So at that time artisans were given a special place in the Mughal court, and Mughal art was patronized. So beta, this was the topic for today. Hope all of you have understood the topic. Thank you and have a nice day.